Welcome, S1E1, to Heart of the City podcast, The Heartbeat. What was it? What was our parenthetical title?
Heartbeat of North Carolina.
No, it was going to be All Things Music, right?
Oh, yeah, All Things Music, joined by El Greco, the GOAT. And we out here in Greensboro at our incubator, and we're going to talk some music with y'all.
This is the home spot. We're going to start off today with hip-hop, as per usual, usually, not always. Just a good go-to around here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of things we want to, I guess, talk about, but it seems like state of things right now, we gotta talk about what's happening in the game, you know?
So we're going to kick it off today. We've got to discuss the Kendrick, Lamar, Drake beef. We have to start there. It's a great place to stop. That's where everything is. Everything has been Drake versus Kendrick for like, what, a month now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Cole, the big three, but I'm excited. I mean, it seems like we haven't seen this much music dropped in like...
We finally, it's tapered off. We're to the point where I think it's tapering off. Like, okay.
I don't know, man. I feel like, didn't Drake just say he's got like 10 more songs he wants to drop, you know?
Earlier this week or like late last week, I feel like every time I turn around, I was like, there's another one? I haven't even heard the response to the last joint.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot that the artists are dropping like this.
Yeah,
We've never
cool.
seen that.
That's true.
So I'm excited. I mean, I feel like that, you know, because I've been talking about the state of music for a while, and it's like putting out records, dropping records.
Right.
And the reality is all these artists are sitting on it, you know, and then now that they're getting the green light from the label or whatever, like, yo, let's go. Like, 5 records a week.
Somebody,
you know what I mean?
I mean, even if you just break it down monetarily, it's kind of genius because look at every hip hop podcast, music. I think I saw a CNN headline. It wasn't CNN, but like I follow a lot of news on my like it was like some major news outlet hit a headline that was like, where do Kendrick and Drake go now? And I was like,
yeah,
what?
bro, it's kind of trippy in this weird like meta. You know, even Drake's putting out some AI shit. You're like, what is even happening?
Are our parents talking about it?
Yeah, everyone's talking about it. I mean,
it's like, who is this Kendrick Lamar fellow, and why does he have beef with Drake?
And then, I mean, the streams are insane. You look at the numbers alone, like it's like
Euphoria
15 million streams in a weekend. Yeah, Euphoria's going crazy.
I think Kendrick has the top top 2 spots with 2 of the discs. Not that Drake, I'm sure Drake's up there too.
I mean, it's almost bigger for Kendrick than it is for Drake because I feel like Drake has the
doesn't
hits.
Need it.
Drake has the bread. Drake, in a lot of ways, from an industry standpoint, is beating Kendrick. You know,
right?
And now Kendrick's getting all this love, and he's still spitting and he's still being lyrical, which is really cool to see. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of, and I'm a huge Nas fan, so this is not a Nas diss at all. It almost reminds me of like the Jay-Z Nas beef, where a lot of people said Jay-Z did Nas a favor. If Jay-Z said it during the beef, I breathed life into you when people forgot you MC'd.
Right.
That wasn't for the verbatim. That wasn't the verbatim, but I mean, not that we forgot that Kendrick MC'd, but you know, there's already just listening to it. There's jokes going around that it take, you know, even in the beef itself, you hear the bars. It takes him how long to write a verse, how long to do a track, how long to release it. I don't know. It is crazy, and it's good for their brand.
I mean, it's cool for the whole game to see the MCs coming back. I mean, you look at the golden age of hip hop, right? We're talking about Pac and Biggie and Nas and Jay-Z, and you know, when that was happening, right? You had this happening. It was like political, social political. It was like people was talking, people were trying to come at you correct with the type of bars, and I felt like for a minute we've gotten away from that, people talking the same shit. So now it's cool that you have like people listening to the words again.
That's
right.
Very
you have
true.
MCs coming back and
true.
You have them doing it quick too. I mean, who knows how long they've been sitting on this, but the debate has been, you know, there's all these ghostwriters, blah blah blah.
But see, that's the difference too. The time has literally fit. You know, historically, time has changed, and because we're on our phones and we wait for stuff to drop. You know, this is a whole separate podcast. We can have a separate podcast about this. Is that things get stale to us faster than they did once before. You know, you spin an album for months. I don't think Nas replied. Somebody else was talking about it. Nas didn't reply to Jay-Z for months, and it was like, is he going to? It's cool, but it wasn't like tick tock. We're waiting on you. We're waiting on the reply.
Things used to move. I mean, it used to move slower. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's like there's really no excuse. It's like I can make a beat, in 10 minutes. And you could rap over it in 20, and then we could put it out the next day.
That's so true.
So it's like it's cool and it's inspiring to be like, yo, let's make some noise. But you got to get creative with how you make noise, and that's what you see here. It's
there's another cool difference is like so if we compare these two, and I think that in a weird way, maybe these are two of the biggest beefs in the past 20 years. I mean, can we think of any other two major MCs that went head to head other than Jay-Z and Nas?
Not like this. I mean, they're coming for blood too.
They're saying some really fucked up shit to each other,
which is dope, And like, I don't know. I'm here for it, and it's interesting because like, I do feel like I like Drake's music, right? I like what he's dropping. Like some of the Kendrick shit, is a little bit more like jazzy and lyrical, and he be making more risk, I think, with his beat selection and all of that. But when you start to step back and you think long term, maybe Kendrick shit lasts longer, right? Like there's this thing about Drake that I don't know the shelf life of this stuff.
Right. Well, I think it depends on what we're talking about, Drake stuff. I think, they obviously are two totally different artists. And it's hard to compare. It's like apples and oranges. Kendrick is an MC. Drake is a hit maker.
Right.
And it's not that Drake isn't nice, because he can be. And then there's all that debate. Is he writing his own stuff? And I'm sure he's rich enough to have, in the past, used ghostwriters and stuff like that for major joints. But that's like that thing we were listening to earlier. Like, think of One Dance. Think of that whole era where like him and Wayne were just, and him, Wayne, and Nicki Minaj. That was like a whole era. They were just dropping hits. I did too. I love all that. Yeah. That whole era of music.
Well, One Dance is
good music.
Not that old, but.
No, I know. But even like Take It Back to
Hotline Bling and like.
Yeah, I could have this moment
Dance.
for life. Remember? That was old school.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like good songs. I like songwriting, shit you hear in the club.
Right.
But I think the debate, becomes too is like Drake's become very mainstream pop. Like he's more widely accepted.
Totally.
And I think that's what Kendrick's beefing is saying, okay, bro, like yes, maybe, you have these one hits, but we're talking strictly bars, we're talking MC, we're talking culture, we're talking, the real shit. And Kendrick's saying, I'm the GOAT. Like I'm the one who's out here really doing it, not just for the likes.
I'm so mad at J. Cole. Speaking of which.
Yeah, bro.
We could spend a whole side podcast on that. I have so much respect and admiration for that dude as an artist that I'm not mad. And I feel like a lot of people felt that way when he bowed out. But, I guess like I felt like 50 Cent did. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Don't apologize yet.
What are you doing?
And I don't know. That dude stays on my playlist.
Well, we're in North Carolina, so Cole is a little bit goated for me. Yeah. But it's interesting because we I know people who are at Dreamville, and I've seen Cole a couple times.
Right.
And I don't know if you know that viral clip of him being like basically apologizing.
I saw it.
And he has this way of like every one of his shows, he kind of sits down and talks to the audience for a long time, and that's part of the thing, which I personally was like, I don't want to see that. If I'm at a concert, I'm like, Joe, you play your shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear you talk. Like, Cole's got this thing where he's trying to be relatable to the common man.
He is, though.
He's not, though, bro. It's like you have so much money, you're so famous, and you're trying to talk to me like you can relate to me, bro.
But that's his hook. It's always been is that he is like amongst the people but not equal, to quote lyrics.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we love about Cole, but I think this time, for the first time, he took that shit too far.
Yeah, like, bro, don't back down. It's too much.
This is my favorite.
Really high and just, bro, I don't care about it.
No, I think that he's such a good person. Like I don't think it's not part of his image. His image is J. Cole, and I think that he has a problem being Jermaine and J. Cole all the time.
Right.
It is literally like, it should literally be like Clark Kent and Superman.
Right.
And Superman just can't decide not to take the day off when people are fucking Metropolis up. You gotta put this. You gotta suit up and save the world. And I'm not saying that
you can't be like, okay, you guys battle it out. You know, I'm gonna put my cape down.
Here's a good analogy. It's like if hip hop was professional wrestling, and we know that WWE is scripted. Okay.
Of course.
You don't want to see The Rock dapping up the dude that is supposed to be the villain.
Yeah.
10 minutes before they are supposed to step into the ring and talk trash to each other on the mic.
Well, that's kind of the debate too. Is like, how much beef is there actually between all of them? Or is it kind of like a little bit of like?
So he's like he was breaking fourth wall too much. Or...
Yeah, I mean, I think they're playing into it. Like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of bad blood, you know, and especially with the shit now with Diddy and everything that's happening, and then. You know, Drake kind of being tied in. I don't know. You know the whole thing with Euphoria, apparently. Like, apparently he helped direct Euphoria, the TV show or something. It was written about this young girl and this older guy. And, like, Kendrick saying that it was, like, a representation of Drake because he's been on some weird shit. And then there's, like, a lot of, like, little...
See, you're teaching me now.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to get hip, you know? And then the push-up song where he's like, yeah, like... Just get down and give me 50, which is talking about the deal that Kendrick has, where he's giving up 50% of his points.
So I heard the bar about the splits and the split your pay. I mean, so
from that perspective, it's like cool because we're getting educated and we're seeing like some insight, and they're throwing like real ass blows.
It is, but like the industry. They're throwing a lot of industry shade at each other, which at least as artists, they're like, hey,
right.
Did you really write the shit?
But also,
really
maybe there's something there about too. Like maybe it's a wake up to the industry. It's like, okay, we need to do better. We need to promote real music, real lyricism, real hip hop. Right. You know, and then that circling back is why you're mad. It's like, okay, Cole, yes, do the right thing, but the world wants you. We need you in there. Like
I felt like he won the Super Bowl for us.
Yeah.
And then the very next day gets on, like ESPN.
Like, here's the Lombardi.
He's like, I don't really want the trophy anymore. Guys, it's too much pressure to be champ. Let Drake take it. No, don't let Drake take it.
Yeah, no one wants Drake to have
for us.
Yeah. I don't know if he got. That's the issue, though. We don't know if he won the Super Bowl or not.
No,
you can't really.
No,
make that
it's
claim.
all opinion. To me, he did.
But he only had one verse. Like I don't even remember. You know, they took that shit down.
The 7-minute drill was fire.
Yeah.
And I'm of these three characters, I'm so biased because I think J. Cole has the ability, and not always has. Mm-hmm. I think J. Cole has the ability to make Drake like hits. Maybe not quite. I mean, Drake is a world star, and he drops and
yeah.
Teenage girls go crazy. Not that teenage girls don't go crazy for J. Cole and Kendrick, but it's different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
But I mean, like, J. Cole is nice as an MC and has proved